Hello and welcome to another episode of VERITAS. My name is Jessica Lubianski, and today I'm here to talk to you about a truth that sometimes we have a lot of doubt in. It's the fact that sometimes as humans, we give up a lot. But the truth is that God never gives up on us. St. John Paul II has a quote that says, "I plead with you, never ever give up on hope, never doubt, never tire, never become discouraged. Do not be afraid." There are so many people in the Bible that we read about that never gave up. I often find myself relating to Peter. St. Peter, he was the one that Jesus bestowed the kingdom to. He said to Peter, "Upon you, I'm going to build my church." He's the one that Jesus handed the keys to. And though I want to be so much like St. Peter, often my faults are often like St. Peter's as well. St. Peter, he doubted a lot of times. He was unsure of his way. We see as Peter was in the storm that Jesus called him out upon the water to walk. And when Peter was walking, he places his eyes on Jesus and he walks on water. And the moment that he took his eyes off of Jesus, he gives up and he falls beneath the water. And like a child, he raises his eyes and his arms to heaven, and Jesus extends that hand down to him. Once again, we see that Peter often questions Jesus, and Jesus will say something like at the Last Supper that, "Peter, you're going to deny me." "Oh Lord, I would never deny you." And then Peter denies Jesus 3 times just after the cock crows, just as Jesus said. So many times in our lives, we give up and we deny Jesus whenever he's calling us to this path. And I think that we have to look at St. Peter. Look at him as our model, because Jesus never gave up on St. Peter. He never gives up on us. And so we can pray and we can ask St. Peter to discern for us, to be in heaven and intercede for us. There's other saints. The very first saint that we ever learn about is St. Dismas. He's the first one that Jesus calls to sainthood in the Bible. They're hanging on the cross, and the crowds were persecuting him and were denying him. And you have 2 people, one from the cross that is mocking Jesus. The second, St. Dismas, that asked Jesus for forgiveness. And at his final moment, Jesus tells him, "Today you will be with me in paradise." This is continual proof, and it's a continual truth that there Jesus is. There God is always extending mercy and extending grace, and he never gives up on us. And so in those moments that we are finding that we want to give up, that's when we have to channel our innermost strength, that we have no choice but to get down on our knees, to call upon our God who is merciful and gracious and loving, and ask for that strength and that mercy and that love. It's not easy to not give up. Jesus fell 3 times on the way to Calvary. As he was carrying that cross, I'm sure he often was laying on the ground wanting to get up. And as he looked upon his people, as he looked upon you and I, he knew that he had to give up and persevere. And that's the strength that we're called to. He never gave up on us once. And so this week, or as you feel like you can't do anything but give up, my challenge for you is to think about Jesus lying there on the ground. Think about his bruised and bleeding body, and channel that as your strength to get up. And then I want you to ask St. Peter to intercede for you and pray for that strength of Jesus, because it lives within you. God never gives up on you. And just like St. John Paul II says, you have Jesus. Do not give up on hope. And you have no reason to be afraid. Do not fear, because he lives within you. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Veritas, and we'll see you next week. Hi, my name is Jessica Lubianski, host of Veritas, a series that just confronts different truths in our world and truths about our Catholic faith. And what we aim to do is pour truth into young adults and the youth, our young church, and build them up so that they can build the kingdom of God. Each week, we we interview different people from around the Archdiocese of San Antonio to do exactly this. For more videos like this, subscribe to today's Catholic newspaper on the YouTube channel and hit the notification buttons to be updated every time another awesome truth is revealed.